right. Just want to try to do a little bit of this again. I know that there were several folks that were listening, watching when we did our first scripture reading this morning, which I guess started about an hour ago. We're trying to work on the video to make sure that all things are working as they should in preparation for Sunday. Of course, Sunday's Easter, and we're praying that God will use this special Sunday of all the Sundays of the year to encourage folks and to help Christians that are dealing with this very difficultly. It's a hard time to things that are happening that we've never had to deal with before, and it's hard. But I do want to read just a few verses for those of you who did not get this earlier, and hopefully you can actually see. We're not going to read both chapters together right now, but I do want to read just a few verses from Christ as he was there on the cross. In John chapter number 19, we find this account, and of course he was tried. He was taken from the Garden of Gethsemane. He was tried before Annas and Caiaphas and then Pilate. And they crucified Jesus. It says in verse number 17, and he bearing his cross went forth to the place that is called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him and two other with him on either side one, and Jesus in the midst. And Pilate wrote a title and put it on the cross. And the writing was Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. This title then read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh to the city. And it was written in Hebrew and Greek and Latin. Down in verse number 28, after this Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, he saith, I thirst. Now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled the sponge with vinegar and put it upon hyssop and put it to his mouth. When Jesus had therefore received the vinegar, he said, it is finished. He bowed his head and gave up the ghost. We find down in verse number 38, as they come to bury the body of Jesus, it says, after this, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Jesus, but secretly, for fear of the Jews, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Jesus. And Pilate gave him leave. He came therefore and took the body of Jesus. There came also Nicodemus, which at the first came to Jesus by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100-pound weight. They took the body of Jesus and wound it in linen clothes with the spices, as the manner of Jews is to bury. On the place where he was crucified there was a garden, and in the garden a new sepulchre wherein never man yet laid. There laid they Jesus, therefore, because of the Jews' preparation day, for the sepulchre was nigh at hand. I thank the Lord that I've had the opportunity to go to Israel, and I'd love to go back. It's a beautiful place, and saw the places where Jesus was, saw the way that he would have come in from the Kidron Valley to the judgment area of the high priest, his house, to Gabbatha, the pavement that we read about earlier, to Pilate's judgment hall. All those places we saw, the place where he would have said, behold the man and behold your king. And it's a very amazing place to see the skull on the mountain at the place of the skull and the garden tomb. They're just amazing places to be able to see and to remember. And I thank the Lord for that. Again, I hope you'll meditate on these things, that you'll pray this day. Pray not just for yourselves, but pray for others. Pray that in this time of confusion, that God will use this to bring others to himself, that we would see a great revival. And I'm praying that you have a great day today. Remember our services on Sunday, and share that event on Facebook if you can. Share the photo that's there to let folks know that they can come. We'll listen from our cars. We'll hear the Bible preached. We'll have some special singing. We'll have some congregational singing, which will be a little different. You'll be singing in your cars. We won't hear you as much, but but it'll be a great time together. And I hope you're looking forward to Resurrection Sunday and the Lord's Day. And just a reminder for all those of you, I hope that you'll be aware of these things going on and pray that God will use these things in our church. Thank you.